Neptown Tuner here. Haven't made a video in a little while because I got the COVID, and that was pretty interesting because it really did take a lot of energy out of me. I felt like I had to lay down multiple times in the day, and then I was feeling lazy, and I got up and was trying to work, and it just really hit me hard. But now I got most of my energy back, and I'm almost completely over it. But I haven't driven this truck very much. I didn't record myself fixing it, but it's got an interesting little story to it. I started getting a water pump noise, and it was interesting because the water pump looked like it was fairly new. The belt on it was new, and whatever. I just went ahead and ordered another water pump, and I was going to throw another pump on it. But before I could actually get around to replacing it, luckily it wasn't on my long trip, because I went all the way out to Staten Island with this thing and picked up a car for a guy I work for, a friend. But this is a story of a bad repair, and sometimes things just break on their own, and sometimes the repair person, the technician, the mechanic, whoever worked on it didn't do it right, and then things break that way as well. So that's what happened here. If you'll notice, this is the water pump pulley, and you see those holes, especially like that one right there. It's ovaled out and oblong. That one right there. The two on the sides, the bolt just came out. So I found this just laying there. Actually, well, the bolts came all the way out, and it was cocked sideways, and it wasn't spinning. It was no longer spinning my water pump because the inside was just spinning. And I'll have to show you, flip the camera around, show you better. But whoever put this on did not torque these bolts down properly. So I had a really difficult time removing the fan clutch. So if you can imagine how difficult it would be to take this fan clutch off with all these bolts missing, because the whole thing was just spinning. But you see how I marred up that nut on there? I actually was able to get my Milwaukee air compressor out here, and it had enough air pressure to where I was able to get my air hammer on the corner there, and I had to do it multiple times because there was no resistance. I had nothing to hold the water pump from spinning. I probably could have tried to put the bolts back in the pulley and done it that way, but it was too difficult to get the bolts in because I would have had to use a tap and clean up the bolts, which I had to. I had to clean up all the bolt holes because whenever they were working themselves out, of course it ate up the threads, so I couldn't get the bolts in there adequately. But you see now I put whatever kind of bolts I could find in there. These are from an Audi, and I got lock washers on there, and they're probably sticking out just a little bit too far, but I was able to get it bolted all the way on there and sitting flush. But that is not the best way to do it because you can mar things up and make it look like a hack job, but I didn't have much choice. But that's a known method of getting a fan clutch off, using a air hammer, and it worked for me even without these bolts. So I got my new pulley on there, and I did not even have to change the water pump. I'm just gonna roll with the same water pump. I got no more belt squeal noise, and all because someone didn't torque these bolts down properly. It could have been really bad. I could have been states away and stranded on the side of the highway. So that's your story for today. I'm told that whoever owned this truck before me took it someplace every time it needed something. But this leads me to think that the owner themselves did stuff. But so I don't know.